Hello, we are here with Dharma Talk Tuesday, and I just want to say I'm so happy to be back. I feel like I've been missing in action for the last few Dharma Talk Tuesdays, and I'm so grateful that you got to meet some of my good friends who came in and covered the day, and you learned from them, and Kayla and Carrie and Leslie. But you have me again today, and I'm so excited about that. I'm so grateful to be back. So right now we've got Heather. Hello, Heather. Neil Cannon, so good to see you. Chanel, I saw you got the meditation. Congratulations. I would love it if you sent me an email and let me know how you feel after you do it and what results you get. So that would be great. All right, really quick before I get into today's topic, I would really love a recommendation from you, and I'll probably actually email my list about this too, because this is a really important decision I have in front of me. Okay, and it's gonna require your interaction. So, a couple of my very good girlfriends have been studying the Artist's Way. And as far as I understand it, you wake up and you write 3 pages in your journal prompted by the book, The Artist's Way. So I got the book, but I need a journal still. And as I understand it, and like most of my journals are filled up and you need like a big one. So I'm on the search for a beautiful, perfect journal. And if you are into journaling, you know this is a big decision. It's a big deal. So if you have a journal, and this is the kind of thing people are very preferential. Like they know, they're like, oh, I love this journal. And they like have their specific thing that they're like, this is it. This is everything. Get this one. So if you have that, if you're that person and you have the perfect journal for me, comment below and please, 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 post your link with your suggestion. I'm open to suggestions. I am such an aesthetics person. I'm a Taurus rising, which means I like beautiful things, such as my Dharma Talk Tuesday chair, and a perfect, beautiful journal falls under that category as well. So Heather, oh my gosh, Heather says she just got my meditation. Can't wait to do it. Thank you for the generous pricing. And Chanel says I'm doing it tonight. I haven't even talked about the meditation yet. You ladies are bringing it up. So I will actually talk about that later. But Heather, awesome. Congratulations. I would love it for you, for Chanel, for all of Giselle. I saw you just grabbed it. So those of you, and I'll post the link here, or if one of you wants to post the link, if you have easy access to it. I'll post the link here for anyone else who's like, what is happening? Don't worry, I'm going to talk about it in just a moment. Hi, Carrie Stanley, all my favorite people joining us here tonight. All right, so anyway, to sum up what I was just saying, if you have a journal recommendation of a beautiful bound journal that you recommend, please post it in the comments because I am in need of a beautiful journal so I can start my Artist's Way journey. All right. That being said, hello and welcome to Dharma Talk Tuesday. Today we're talking about instant manifestation, what it is, how to do it, and how to make it happen for you. The first thing I want to say about this topic is that it's very normal to have like resistance and skepticism to this notion of instant manifestation. I mean, think about the way you grew up. Like you heard things like money doesn't grow on trees, or you win some, you lose some, and you heard these phrases as you were growing up that caused you to develop a belief that in order for you to receive or get something that you really want, you have to work really hard. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be like an uphill battle with lots of strife, and you just have to like buckle down and prepare for it and expect that it's going to be hard. Hearts and likes if you know what I'm talking about. And also, if you know anyone who could benefit from this conversation, please share this Dharma Talk Tuesday on your page or tag those people in the comments because I am so committed to shifting the consciousness around this. I mean, it's so crazy. Let me just get into some examples here to start to build your belief and show you some evidence of the fact that instant manifestation is a thing and that it's meant to be this way and it's meant to happen like this for you in your life. And if it's not, then something is off. Okay. And Giselle says, how the heck do you break that? We're going to talk about that. And Laura says, hi. Hello, beautiful Laura. Hello, hello. Okay, so first of all, let's just reference, like, I'm a very referential person. Like, I'm a scientist. I like to go to the evidence. Okay, so let's take it back to some evidence called the Bible and scripture and the Torah and the Bhagavad Gita, where it says that, actually, let's take it to like the story of Jesus, right? So the disciples said to Jesus, how do we pray? And I think that's such a good question. Like, if I were to meet Jesus, that's exactly what I would say. I would say, how do I pray? But I don't need to ask that question. I don't need to meet Jesus because it says it in the Bible. It says, pray that God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So I don't care what your religious background or upbringing is. I think that's some wisdom bombs right there. Like, boom, like that's some good stuff. And I think, like, gosh, when I think about the God that I want to align to, that's the kind of God that I wouldn't want on my side, that heaven gets to happen here on earth for me, for you, for everybody. And God is no discriminator of persons. He's not discerning of persons. So, like, you're no different from me. We're no different from Buddha. We're no different from Gandhi. We're all the same. Like, we're the same consciousness. We're the same pranic flow, like the same life force moves through me as moves through you, as moved through Martin Luther King Jr. So we're the same. Like, now that we've got all of that established, let's just like drop in with this notion that God's will is that heaven be done here on earth as it is in heaven. What that means, oh my God, Janine Staples is here. Janine, I know you can support me in this conversation. I was just saying from the scripture, Jesus said, or the disciples said to Jesus, how do we pray? And Jesus said, pray that God's will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. And the reason why this is so key is because if you don't believe that, you're already like behind the 8 ball. Like, you need to have conviction and clarity and confidence that God is for you, that the universe has your back, to quote Gabrielle Bernstein, and that you are not up against some like angry God who's trying to mess up your life, or that God put the desires that you have in your heart to mess with you. Like, your dharma, my sister is calling. I'll just ignore her and call her back later. So your dharma is not there to mess with you. Your desires, your visions of like, I'll give you an example. So to just talk about that meditation that a few of you were talking about and asking about, I just had this vision as I was making my Let God Into Your Business Holiday Bundle Black Friday offer. I was actually going to put the whole bundle together. It had yoga, it had, what did it have? It had an audio training, it had Ticket to Dharma Live, it had a bunch of different things. And I was also going to include an audio meditation, but then at the last minute, I just felt God say, no, save this for Giving Tuesday for a very specific reason. So I actually pulled it out of the bundle just to offer for today, which, by the way, is Giving Tuesday. Hearts and likes for hashtag Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is obviously about giving, and it's about nonprofits. It's about being generous, just like next level offering, tithing, giving, that sort of thing. Looking up and out and being of service to others, right? So God was like, give that for Giving Tuesday for $7. And I was like, this is worth way more than $7, God. And he's like, give it for $7. This is Giving Tuesday, and give 50% of the proceeds to support the wildfire situation that's happening in California. So for every purchase that comes in, I'm giving 50% of that purchase to the wildfire situation, to that support, to the people who desperately need our help. And I was like, okay, I'm very obedient to God. So I said, okay. And so I was laying in bed last night after yesterday was such a long day. It was a beautiful long day, as it happens sometimes. But it's so cool because I went to bed. This is part of being on Dharma. I laid in bed and I wasn't tired at all. I was actually fired up and smiling, and that looked like such a dork, laying in bed, on my head on my pillow, big smile, because I was thinking about my Giving Tuesday offer, which was this email that was going to go out to talk about this manifesting meditation for giving and receiving, which is, again, what we were talking about earlier. And I'm just laying there thinking, oh my God, what would it be like if 100 people purchased this manifesting meditation, and then I was able to give, so that's $700, right? And then I was able to give $350 to the charity. Like, that would be so amazing. And then 100 people's lives would be completely changed forever because of learning this meditation. Because this is something I do to shift my own energy. So Giselle, I'm so glad you bought the meditation, because you were like, how do I break this? How do I shift it? Well, it's through this type of work, through this meditation. So then I was like laying there and I was like, oh my God, but what if 200 people bought it? And I was playing this game with myself of like checking in on a vibrational heart-centered level of like what it would feel like for each of these incidences to occur. And every time I upped the ante, I just felt my heart leap like, oh my God, could I receive that? Could I be source for that? Could I be cause for that? And then I got up to 1,000 and I was like, oh my God, 1,000 purchases of a $7 product, giving $3,500 to the wildfire cause. Wow. And I'm like, I'm just like laying there like, I'm such a dork. So excited and passionate and just like lit up like a Christmas tree and happy. And that's how I fell asleep last night. So sure enough, the email goes out this morning and it's like boom, boom, boom. Like my Stripe account's like on fire. Like, and so it's been amazing because I've just never experienced sales like I've experienced this past weekend. I mean, my company brought in $4,000 in sales just in these small item offers this past weekend. I've never experienced, I'm just being honest with you guys, I've never experienced anything like this. So one of the ways that I can generate results like this is because of the meditation that that I'm essentially giving away today for $7 up until 11:59 p.m. Pacific tonight, at which point it will go back to $97. So anyway, I will, one of you guys, if you want to, Heather or Giselle, if you want to post the link here in the thread, otherwise I'll post it here later. For anyone who's interested and wants to grab it. It's a 16-minute, you can do it, I do it every morning personally, like I wake up, I get my celery juice, I've been doing the medical medium celery juice cleanse thing every morning, so I get my celery juice and drink it, and then while I wait for it to like digest, I do this meditation. It only takes 16 minutes, and it's like you literally emerge a whole new person. So all of this being said, let's talk about instant manifestation. So our first premise is that God's will is going to be done here, or wants to be done here on earth as it is in heaven. And if it's not, then it's because you're blocking it. So I want to ask you, like, whatever the thing is that you're offering or that you're selling, or maybe you're not clear on it yet, and that's fine too. But the thing that you're excited about right now, that you're going to make money from, or that you are making money from, I just want to invite you, like, imagine yourself just like the way that I was last night, laying in bed, like on my pillow, like, oh my God, could I receive 1,000 purchases? Like, what will you let yourself receive? You know, and I had to actually coach myself through it. Like, okay, so $7, gosh, I've never made, $7,000 from a $7 item. That would be, I mean, I've made $7,000 from like a one sales item where it's like a high ticket item, like a coat, like a VIP day with me. Like that actually feels easier to me than selling $1,007. But it's so funny because there are so many products out there. Like this notebook, for example, like there are companies out there that sell 1,000 notebooks a day and they make, $7,000 a day. Like, it's just crazy. Like that's a normal thing. And I coached myself and I had to really, so Heather, I appreciate that link, but if I don't know if that's going to work. You might want to go to the page rather than taking it from the email, actually click the link and then go to your browser like Safari or Chrome or whatever, and then copy it. It should be like a ClickFunnels thing. It should say like ClickFunnels order, something like that. So that might be more helpful because I don't know if that Aweber one is going to work, but give it a try. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. So anyway, it was a perspective shift. And I'm clear that perspective shift was able to happen because it's like I actively work on the way that I am able to and am capable of giving and receiving. So the next thing I want to do is talk about this dynamic of giving and receiving. Like if you were to dream about the product that you're offering right now, that's it, Heather, thank you. If you were to dream about the product you're offering right now, can you just stop and imagine, like, I don't know what the price point is, but let's just throw out like 20 people. What if 20 people bought that thing from you? And then like feel that, like what on a vibrational, emotional level, like what is the experience? Like, can you imagine 20 sales coming in? Like, what does that feel like? And then let's up the ante. Like, what about 40? What about 100? And then do the math. Like, could you, like, if that actually happened, could you receive it? And if the answer is no, then there's some work for you to do there. And if the answer is yes, then that's awesome. Do you hear how that works? Like that's the honest energy work that you need to be doing with yourself every day. Like I was really like connected and coaching myself on being able to openly receive like sale after sale after sale after sale after sale, right? Whatever the price point is. Like the price point actually doesn't really matter. It's like the universe, God can only give you what you feel you're able to receive. We were gifted free will. So even though it's God's will for heaven to be done here on earth, it's not going to happen if your will is getting in the way. And if your will is like, this needs to be a struggle, this needs to be hard, this needs to be like really arduous, and I'm only able to really receive 10 sales, let's say. Like that's your will getting in the way of God's will, and that's what's blocking it. Giselle, to answer your question, that's a big piece of what's blocking it. So again, one of the things that the manifesting meditation is going to do is to, create a shift there. Okay, so let's talk about giving for a second. Let's talk about giving in the context of like entrepreneurs and coaches and services, because I have a lot of you people on here and I want to serve you. So here's what's true. If you are not 10 out of 10, 100% enrolled in what you offer, and not just 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 enrolled in what you offer, then you're not going to sell your thing, and you're not going to be able to give. You're not going to be able to give from the place that you really need to be giving from to make a difference. So I was coaching my clients today, my Maya clients, one of whom, the person who's asking this question, is actually on this Dharma Talk Tuesday right now, a very smart woman. And she was like, we were talking about the distinction of responsibility and like being who we need to be in order to source transformation in other people, whatever their results are wanting, and what we're up to. And she was like, I really heard what you said around that, and I get that I need to like put the people pleaser aside and be an interruption sometimes. Like I get that, but oh my gosh, like I really like that point where you get to the offer and make the sale and make the offer. I just get so uncomfortable and it feels pushy and it just feels really icky. I was like, yeah, I get that. Hearts and likes if you get that too. I know I'm not the only one who totally understands that and gets that. So you want to know what I said to her? Hearts and likes if you want to know what I said to her. What I said was, if you're 10 out of 10 enrolled in the thing that you are offering, you won't feel that way. Because you'll be convinced and in full conviction that if this person doesn't say yes to you, they're fucked, quite honestly. I mean, it's not to be crass, but kind of, I realized that when I get on a call and I feel any doubt or any kind of like ickness regarding like me and what I'm offering, it just doesn't work. Like I just can't get on a call that way anymore. And I usually stop and ground. Like for example, before this Dharma Talk Tuesday, I did my the meditation that I'm offering you guys. I did it myself right before this Facebook Live, because I knew I needed to get grounded and get locked in, lasered in on what I'm giving and how important this thing that I'm giving is and how life-changing it is. And like I couldn't be speaking to you with this level of energy and conviction and power if I didn't so fully believe, 10 out of 10 convicted and enrolled in myself and in my products and services. And you're no different. And so in order to give, okay, we talked about receiving already. So in order to give at the level that you're really being called to give, if you're watching this, that means that you've got a pretty big and important and ambitious Dharma. So I acknowledge you for that. It's important, and yes, the world needs you. So now your work is to get enrolled in yourself and in your offering. And the coaching that I gave the client who was asking about this was really very simple, and maybe I should do a whole Dharma Talk Tuesday actually about this, but essentially, like, I imagined that I had two tables, and I used like pieces of paper to represent those two tables, and I journaled. And I was like, okay, what are the things I'm taking off the table that I'm not enrolled in anymore regarding my products and services and points of view and things like that? And what am I keeping? Like, what am I gonna, keep? Like, what am I completely 10 out of 10 enrolled in? It was so interesting, you guys, because guess what happened? I ended up keeping everything. And once I did this process, I was like, wait, I am 10 out of 10 enrolled in my shit. And I just needed to prove it to myself. And I just needed to take myself through this kind of analytical process to see it visually. I'm a very visual person, to see it for myself. And once I saw it for myself and realized, oh wait, I actually am enrolled 10 out of 10 in everything, everything changed. And I went on to have another six-figure weekend, a 100% re-enrollment rate, renewal rate from my beginning level program, Maya, to my advanced level program, the Dharma Academy. 100% renewals. That's not a thing. That doesn't happen. That's not normal. But that is what happens when you're enrolled in your shit, 10 out of 10, and when you're in full alignment with regards to giving and receiving. Okay, so I want to talk about a few other pieces to this giving and receiving dynamic and to generate instant manifestation for you in your life. And before I do that, I just want to see some of the comments here. Giselle says, thank you so much for offering this. Big hugs. Hugs back to you, Giselle. Heather, thank you again for posting that link. Neil Cannon Extraordinaire says, I'm doing Abraham Hicks and Joe Dispenza. Oh my God, I love Joe Dispenza. I'm obsessed with his books, Neil. It's so funny. I'm reading Becoming Supernatural right now, and it's so epic. I'm intrigued by this meditation. I like your slant on getting specific with business, product, sales. Cool. Christy Yeager, hello. Tracy Clark, superhero Wonder Woman. Dustin Urban, I just waved at you. It wasn't on purpose, but we'll pretend like it was. I'll wave at all you guys. Everyone gets to be, everyone gets to go, everyone gets to go. Okay, and then Holly, hi. And then Giselle says, wow, I really needed this today. Christy says, but what if I feel people get to be wherever they choose, and if they can't hear the possibility, then they are not ready? I sometimes feel we're in such a place of too muchness, over information, too much doing, and not enough being. Shanda Sumter, hello! All right, Christy. Well, here's what I'll say. I'm going to answer your question. So, Christy, if someone gets on the phone with you, you're a coach too, so I'm going to speak into your question, your request here. You're a coach. You're a transformation. You're a force for transformation in the world. So here's the deal, and this goes for all of you if this is relevant for you. If someone books a call with you, or reaches out to you, or gets in touch with you because there's something that they want to change or transform in their life, then here's the deal. There's something in their life that isn't working. And they're actually reaching out to you, please help me. So Christy, it is your duty. Remember, that's the literal translation for the word Dharma. It is your duty to be a relentless stand for that person. Because here's the thing, Christy, if they weren't really ready for someone to take a stand for them at that level, they wouldn't have booked a call with you. And that's the truth. So especially for people who book a call with you or reach out to you and ask for support and buy your stuff, those are, and this goes for all of you, because I understand, Christy, I can understand where you're coming from and why you would ask this question. But I'm just telling you, because this, what you're asking represents a level of doubt inside yourself, okay? What that reveals is a level of doubt inside yourself. And anyone who is relating with Christy right now, same with you. That question is revealing a level of doubt inside of you. And I'm telling you, all of you, when you are in full conviction about your Dharma, your offering, you're 10 out of 10 enrolled in what you uniquely are up to, you're going to become obsessed. I am so obsessed with my shit. Not in a narcissistic, self-centered way, but in a oh my God, I declared to my boyfriend that we were going to see dolphins when we went out on the boat in Newport. And guess what happened? We saw dolphins, 40 of them. That's not the first time that's happened either. That was a replicable result that happened. That's the second time that's happened to me just in the last year and a half where I went out on a recreational boat and turned to the person next to me. This actually happened in the Bahamas at a retreat as well. I turned to the person next to me and I said, let's manifest dolphins. Let's make sure we see some dolphins. And then put our manifesting power on it, put our conviction, our belief, our excitement, our passion. And then here we are. We go out on the boat and the dolphins have arrived. And maybe you're attributing me to be a dolphin whisperer, and maybe I am. I don't know. My point is that you can manifest instantly when you put your desire on it, when you remove the blocks, and when you cultivate that conviction. You gotta have a 10 out of 10 conviction. And if you have a moment of fear, of doubt, of lack, of scarcity, that's sort of like how Baron Baptiste, one of my favorite yoga teachers, he says, the yoga pose starts as soon as you wanna get out of it. Your faith begins the moment that doubt creeps in. When people say things like, this manifesting thing isn't working for me, you're missing the point. Even just I never have that thought. That thought never crosses my mind, ever. Because I'm so much more committed to the conviction of how important my thing is that I'm offering, to being such a 100% giver, to being such a gracious receiver, that in being in that relationship with God, that open, connected relationship with God, it never actually crosses my mind that this manifesting stuff isn't working. That question would reveal your level of faith. And so then the question is it's not about the manifesting, it's about your level of faith. Okay, I just went off on a little tangent there. Okay, so Christy says, love all those authors too. I am just jaded because I'm at this game too long. Doubting my Dharma is right now. I used Baptiste line with my students right there. There it is. Laura says, that was so cool, those dolphins. So glad you posted it. I was glad to share it. Christy, am I just jaded because I'm in this game for too long? And what I'll say to that's a very specific question for someone like you who's been in the work for a long time. We all go through it. Like I said, I went through my own process just this past spring where I had to take everything off the table that I was am I really enrolled in this? And go through my own cleanup process of getting re-enrolled in my shit. And it was very painful and stressful and scary. Oh my God, am I going to get rid of my coaching program? I was prepared to completely start from scratch if that's what it took. But once again, once I cleaned it up, I was no, I'm actually more enrolled in this than ever. So you got to let yourself go there sometimes. And at the end of the day, you have to land in the place of being completely 10 out of 10 enrolled in your stuff. Laura says, the thing that has helped me is being a part of a group offering. While promoting myself, my product, I'm promoting everyone else's too, just like Cultivate calls. So Laura is referring to Cultivate, which is my sales model that I teach my clients. The more I do them and this, the more real it becomes to me. So practicing, Laura, that's what you're speaking into. That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so I just wanted to share a couple other pieces around instant manifestation. Things that get in the way of instant manifestation, I'm just going to name a couple of them. The first one is brain fog. There's nothing worse than brain fog. And I'm just going to share with you some of the things that cause me to have brain fog, and maybe you can relate. Things that cause me to have brain fog. Okay, so this is going to be really basic. The first is nutritional, and it's when I have really heavy carbs before 4 o'clock. So from a nutritional level, I wake up, I do my celery juice, wait 20 minutes, and then I'll do a really nutrient-rich coffee with collagen, protein powder, and MCT oil and maca and stevia and that sort of thing. And then I'll have bone broth for lunch, basically. Maybe some sauerkraut and fermented cottage cheese or probiotic cottage cheese. And then I won't really have a real meal until probably 2 or 3 o'clock, which is usually eggs over greens with a piece of toast. So I share that with you because that's something that helps me keep my brain clear on a nutritional level, because then the blood's not going to my belly, it's going to my brain. So from a nutritional, really basic standpoint, that's something that supports me. Feel free to take it. Another piece around brain fog. Overwhelm. I encounter a lot of people who overwhelm gets in the way of their manifesting because they don't have the bandwidth or the spaciousness in their mind to do what I did last night, which was coach myself through a breakthrough in receiving as I lay back in my pillow with a stupid smile on my face, right? So you want to create spaciousness, or I sort of think about it as It's like, I'm a very visual person again, so I'm gonna forgive my weird analogies, but it's sort of like a balloon that like starts in the middle of your brain and goes zoop, and it just like expands into your head, and it's like it creates this like air pocket of space. This is probably like, I mean, it's so weird, but this is just like visually what I see. It's like this pink love, like light of love, air pocket of space that like, it's like my brain, it just has so much space. It's like the vastness of the universe in which I can play with ideas and think things through and entertain visions and really like go deep with them emotionally and stay focused on a certain train of thought as I carry it through to really deeply feel the thing that I'm wanting to manifest. And you really need that level of spaciousness and focus and a time of non-distraction in order to do that level of deep manifesting work, right? So again, like the meditation that Heather posted here for us is going to support you with that. I'm not gonna lie, like I go through overwhelm too. It's not like I can just flip a switch and all of a sudden my brain is spacious and I've got plenty of room and I'm totally focused. Like, no, that's not how my life is all the time. Sometimes it is, but most of the time that's not the case. So one of the benefits of the meditation is that it actually changes your brain. Like, so Neil was talking about Joe Dispenza. He actually did some really cool studies around measuring people who went to his workshops around meditation and stuff. And like the brain wavelengths when they first got there and then after they left. And the meditations actually changed their brain wavelengths, which is connected to their ability to manifest. So even in just 16 minutes, I mean, I certainly experienced it. I'm sure you will too, or have already if you've done the meditation. And if you have done the meditation, maybe you could share what your experience was. It's like you go from, I forget what the exact ones. I think you go from like alpha to gamma. Like you want to get to gamma. That's like, and theta is a really good one too, in terms of manifesting and working on your subconscious and programming your subconscious as opposed to trying to fight your conscious mind, right? So even if you talk about like NLP and sales and stuff like that, they're trying to talk to the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind, because that's really where the gold is, right? So the 16-minute meditation here is something that will actually change the way that your brain is functioning to provide you with more spaciousness, to clear the brain fog, and that's going to help you in manifesting your desires and creating space. There's one other thing I wanted to mention in this conversation of instant manifestation, which is looking for evidence, okay? So one of the things I talked about in the Let God Into Your Business holiday bundle, which you can just, I guess, create it for yourself if you did not grab the holiday bundle. And if you didn't grab the holiday bundle, lessons, life lessons, grab it next time. Okay, so one of the things that is included in there is the Miracle Money Tracker. And it's really important to track the things that are happening. Well, first of all, tracking your money, but that's a whole other tangent, but also tracking the miracles. So like when I was first cultivating my faith at a deeper level and really like asking God to take me to just like a quantum exponential shift, I realized I needed to amplify my faith in order for God to do magical work for me. So I started keeping a journal of all of the evidence I had around me of the miracles, the magic, and the manifestations. So one of the reasons why I have such a high level of faith and trust is because I am more focused on those things than I am on evidence around like doubt and skepticism. And it's so interesting because humans love to be right. We just love to be right. And so like if you're programming your brain to focus on what, you know, like things that prove that miracles don't happen, or you're focusing your thoughts and like you will actually start to pay attention in the world to like, wow, there's like the world is out against me. Like I am in a conspiracy against me. The universe hates me. God hates, like you will actually start to think that because you've consciously or subconsciously programmed your brain to look for that. That's truly how it works. So you need to set a new intention, and maybe it actually will require doing what I did, which was writing down all the miracles and writing down all the evidence that you see of God's presence and the miracle manifestations. And to start to really look for that. So here's another example. In the leadership And some of you are in the leadership group with me, but it was so cool because I was sitting at the back table with my friend Alex, and so the team was determining, they were gonna give to an organization, and they were determining what organization they wanted to give to. So there was like a whole conversation happening in the room, and they were focused on like food-oriented organizations and like feeding the homeless type of organizations. And then all of a sudden, Alex Arriaga sitting next to me, he goes, oh, human trafficking, they need to give to human trafficking. He puts up his hands like this, and he's like, give to human trafficking, give to human trafficking. And he puts his powerful, and he's a powerful dude, he puts his manifesting energy on it. One person stands up, and she says, I know this is really different from what we've been talking about before, but what do you guys think about giving to a human trafficking cause? I'm not even kidding you. That actually happened. And for me, that was such evidence again of like instant manifestation. Like this shit's real. The collective consciousness is real. We are all connected. You can orchestrate what's happening in your reality. You can actually shift the blueprint of what's happening in your reality by shifting the direction of your thoughts and just putting full conviction and faith behind it. It's crazy. So, and it's not crazy at the same time. So Laura says, the thing that has helped me being a part of a group, oh, she already read that. That was so true for me in September. In addition to pressing on myself to have get more done, be farther than I was in my work, was moving through an anniversary of the last month of my mom's life. Aw. This was creating emotional fatigue. I could get easy for a few seconds. So you guys, Laura teaches ease. That's what she means when she's saying I could get easy. For a few seconds, and then would pop back into my stress and fatigue. Kept doing my yoga. She's one of my Mayans, so she's being a good student. Noticing ease and asking for help. I called Rush for a coaching call and things started to open up. You're so coachable, Laura. And you guys, like how obsessed Laura is with her point of view around ease. Like she can't even help herself. She's so convicted and clear about her point of view around ease. It's like she can't even help herself. It's just who she is. And that's how we all get to be in the thing that we're offering. It's like how I am about the various things I offer too, right? She says, I love writing down miracles. Okay, so that is the essence of, so that's the essence of what I wanted to talk about today. It looks like the manifesting meditation link is here in the thread, so you're welcome to grab it. It goes back up to $97 at 11:59 p.m. PST tonight. And what else did I want to say? That's it. I'll be back here at 6 o'clock Pacific, Dharma Talk Tuesday next week. Thank you once again for sharing this post. Oh my gosh, if you could be a part of my 1,000-person manifestation of this meditation reaching 1,000 people, I would just love you forever. I mean, can you, oh my God, if I can't even, like words, I can't. And of course, you know, as each of you is setting out in your journeys, I pray and I just speak over you that you have the same kind of support and love and gathering of beautiful souls to lift you up in your vision and the powerful things that you're declaring for the world and for what you're doing with your Dharma. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the week. Hope this was helpful. Share it, pass it on. Go on to create instant manifestation miracles in your life and business. And I will see you next week. Sending you so much love.